Yo, what is up, guys? Russell Westbrook just made NBA history. This dude, Mr. Triple Double, Mr. First Round Exit, Mr. First Ballot Hall of Famer, Mr. MVP, Mr. Zero. He just made NBA history, kind of for the wrong reasons. So last night, Russell Westbrook had 0 turnovers in their win versus Sacramento. Not a bad game. You put up like 19 and 7, but obviously the biggest thing has been 0 turnovers because that's been his biggest issue so far this season with the Lakers. Just the other night, I think he had 9 total against like the Timberwolves. So yeah, Westbrook is a pretty much turnover machine. He's averaging a career high like 4.8 this year, and then every single year he's actually played in the NBA, he's averaged a ton of turnovers, but it's kind of been overshadowed by it's been overshadowed by his triple doubles and by him carrying his team to the first round. Just got knocked out. But now that he's on the big stage with the Lakers playing with LeBron and he's not putting up those crazy numbers this year, it's kind of sticking out more. So Westbrook went 407 games with at least 1 turnover. That is by far the longest streak in NBA history since the stat has been recorded in 1978. And the last time he played a game without a triple-double, I believe it was like March 14th, 2016. That was still when he was with like Kevin Durant. So crazy record set by Russell Westbrook. Yeah, let's get it out of the way. So he broke records. Now I'll talk about the Lakers. I believe the Lakers are now 20 and 19. They're at the 7th seed in the Western Conference. And pretty much the 7th seed and the 5th seed, they're pretty much differentiated by like 1 game. So if the Lakers win another game, and if like the Nuggets and the Clippers lose, the Lakers could be up there at the 5th seed, out of the play-in window. And LeBron's been an animal this year. He's having one of his better statistical seasons at age 37, year 19. Crazy statistic. Crazy by LeBron. Anthony Davis still out with injury. He's been kind of dog water this year for them, but I have a feeling that he's going to pick it up. And he does bring defense, even if his offense isn't clicking. He does bring defense. And then pretty much no one else on the team can defend. So Lakers should definitely try to get some defensive players at this trade deadline because they need to switch up the roster a little bit. Malik Monk, I recently picked up in fantasy. He's going to start going crazy because that is LeBron's favorite teammate to play with 100%. You can see it. Monk's just as quick, athletic, great shooter, has great athleticism, and LeBron just catches the ball and finds him on the break, or LeBron catches him in the half-court set. So Monk's going to need a lot more playing time, and Monk's going to be putting up a lot better numbers going forward. And like Monk's a pretty good player. Now, when he started to pick it up, in Charlotte, they drafted LaMelo, took away his minutes, and they have Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham. Like, he didn't really fit well with all their young guards. He was he was the worst out of their young guards over there in Charlotte. So he didn't really get much of an opportunity to play, but when he did, he looked good. So it was kind of questionable why he signed with the Lakers in the first place, especially for a minimum, because I think a team would have paid him. But maybe his points to kind of shine for the Lakers, get a ring, hopefully. And then, actually not hopefully, my Boston Celtics going to take it home. No way that's happening this year. But maybe that was his plan, to get a ring, get minimum money, and then sign for a bigger contract later in the year. So now back to Russell Westbrook. So he's pretty much having one of his worst seasons since he first started in the league. His points are down, rebounds are down, assists are down, and he's just kind of an odd fit for the Lakers. Now, this whole Russell Westbrook trade rumor about possibly them moving him at the deadline, I really don't see that happening because I don't see another team willing to take him on. And if the Lakers do try to trade him, they're getting a lot less in return than they traded him for. So they traded him for KCP, Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and a pick, I believe, for Russell Westbrook. Now, Russell Westbrook is pretty much at his selling right now is at an all-time low. And I don't see them trading him for maybe one good player and then one player off the bench. Like, I don't really see that happening. I think the Lakers should just risk it and then hopefully get the best of Russell Westbrook by the end of the season, and hopefully he steps up in the playoffs. That's what I think they should do with him, because I really don't think they're going to get equal value for him because of his contract and his play this year. We've seen this, once again. Westbrook can't be a best player on a team and make it out of the first round. I mean, that's pretty much determined by now. He's played with great players since Kevin Durant left, and he still hasn't been able to get it done. So hopefully, AD comes back, for the Lakers' sake. AD comes back. Westbrook finally starts to get clicking. Maybe this 0 turnover game, does something on his mental and, so he's not so much in his head right now. Because for Westbrook, honestly, he's playing pretty bad that, there's no way that this is actually him regressing. My personal opinion, I think it's all mental right now because, think about the markets he's played in. He's played in OKC where a lot of attention was on Kevin Durant. Played in, Houston where they had championship, contenders, but they're at the point where they probably weren't going to win. And then he played in Washington where nobody paid attention until the last 20 games and they went on a crazy streak. And now he's in LA. Now he's pretty much playing for the face of the league, the Los Angeles Lakers. And he's playing with LeBron, which brings pressure. And they're expected to win championship after championship, and he's not producing for him. So I think the pressure's getting to him. And hopefully after this game, he's going to, maybe, relieve himself of some of that pressure and he can go out and just play Russell Westbrook basketball that we all know, he can play. So that pretty much wraps up the video. I kind of rambled there for a while, but I figured this was important to break the Russell Westbrook made NBA history, and it's also a damn good thumbnail and a damn good clickbait title. So see you guys next video.